How's it going, everyone? I like to stay as busy as possible, and I absolutely hate having downtime, so today we're going to start Dark Souls, a game that I've beaten several times by now, over the course of several years, but I figured it's been a while since I've gone through and replayed it, so I thought it would be fun to do that. Because this is a game that I really like, and it's sort of a classic at this point. Basically, Dark Souls, and I guess to an extent maybe Demon Souls too, but I don't really think Demon Souls really caught quite as much traction in the beginning. But Dark Souls, at the very least, was more or less the game that was sort of responsible for repopularizing hardness in video games, I guess. I don't really know how to say it. Hard difficulty in modern gaming. But for those of you who don't know, which is probably not very many of you, but, you know, just in case any of you watching are maybe unfamiliar with Dark Souls or Soulsborne games or what have you, these games are generally considered by most people to be challenging. It's a tough game. Pretty much every Dark Souls game or Bloodborne or Sekiro or other similar Souls-like games and whatnot, they're pretty tough. Basically, the whole concept of these games is that they're tough and that you're faced with a constant uphill battle where damn near everything is pitted against you, and by the time you finally learn what the fuck is going on and you get your shit together, your sense of accomplishment pretty much goes through the roof, and for good reason, because most people who end up trying these games end up giving up on them pretty early on, and I can provide many examples of that. In fact, I think I know way more people who gave up on this game like 2 hours in than I know people who actually managed to beat it. Which is crazy because Dark Souls is pretty hard, but I mean, the difficulty is definitely manageable once you just, you know, give yourself time to learn the game and figure out how to make things easier for yourself and whatnot. But, you know, obviously the game gets easier as you learn more about it. You practice, you'll get better at stuff. From the perspective of a new player, someone who isn't as familiar with the genre, you know, Dark Souls will absolutely shit on you. I know because I've been there, trust me. I'm a living, breathing example of someone who used to be absolute garbage at this game until I practiced and learned from my mistakes and got better over time. And now Dark Souls is one of my favorite games ever, and the whole Soulsborne genre is a genre that I can't really get enough of, which is something I didn't think I'd ever be saying when I first started playing this game and sucked fuck at it. But anyway, before I jump in, I want to talk a little bit about what can be expected during this playthrough. First of all, I'm uploading the videos as a series, so each part is kind of just going to sort of be a glippity-gloop-glop of whatever section of the game I'm doing. I'm going to try and kind of keep things organized so that people know what part they're watching and, you know, what everything connotates to. So, you know, that way if you're watching to maybe try and learn a thing or two about the game and get some help, or if you're just watching for entertainment and you want to see me die over and over to a certain boss, you can pretty much do that. You know, just look at the thumbnail. It's going to be a little bit different than how I usually do my stuff, where I just sort of number it and put an identical thumbnail on everything. But, yeah, I should probably talk about the DLC before I forget. I should probably touch on that. I probably will do it. I'm probably going to do the DLC. I'm not exactly sure how. I don't know when. I don't know why. None of this is really relevant, but I'm sure I'll find a way to implement the DLC somehow, whether it be we end up beating the game and then we go back on New Game Plus and we do the DLC. If I just end up kind of smushing it somewhere in the middle, I really have no idea. But most likely, some way, somehow, I will get around to doing the DLC. I don't even remember what the DLC is called. But I digress. Finally, let's go ahead and jump into some Dark Souls. I can't create any more characters. Delete an existing. Yep, that's good. That's good speech right there. Existing. I can create up to 10 characters. Yeah, you can tell that I've been playing the shit out of this game. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete kind of a random guy here. Off the top, I don't really care what my name is. I don't really care what my character looks like. I don't really spend a whole lot of time in character creators in most games. It's because I don't really care what my guy looks like. I know a lot of people kind of like to make their character a reflection of what they look like and whatnot. But typically with games like this, I sort of just like to sort of throw together a really ugly looking monster of a man. But I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of throw some random shit in through. Oh, there we go. Perfect. She looks like the she looks like one of the Nazis from Orange is the New Black. That's what she looks like, even though she is a he. You know what I'm getting at here. A little voice crack for you. I hate it when my voice cracks because it only ever happens on recording. I swear to God. Probably because I naturally talk a little bit louder for recording. But anyway, for the character creator here, the only thing that really matters is your class and your gift. So we'll go through the classes here. Obviously, when you're picking out what you want to go with, you just kind of want to have in mind what you want your build and your play style to be. If you want to be a magic, if you want to be a pyro or a bandit or a thief or you want to be more ninja-like, you want to go with one of these guys. If you want to be kind of a big, heavy set, hide behind your shield defensive player, which is how I like to play the game, you want to go with one of these guys more than likely. Obviously, I mean, I think Demon Souls actually had like way more classes than this. I think Demon Souls had like a big, fat, long list, but I could be wrong. I gotta blow my nose real quick. Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that little interruption there. I'm only human, you know. I do my best. So, I've beaten this game a couple of different times. Overall, the class that you go with is not going to be extremely important because you're going to find items throughout the game and there's plenty of room for variety and room for you to sort of mix things up with your build as you go. The one build that I typically don't go with when I play Dark Souls, or I guess the set of builds would be any of the magic stuff, really. Sorcerers, pyromancers, pretty much all that shit. I'm not really super into it. I enjoy the melee combat of Dark Souls quite a bit more. That is how I like to have fun with the game. But when you're making your own character, man, you build whatever you want. You can build a big super pyro mage and just go around cheesing your spells at enemies. I'm not trying to shit on mage builds. I know it seems like I am, but truth be told, I just like to go with kind of a regular melee guy and a shield. So I'm gonna go with warrior, which is a pretty basic bitch choice, but when you look at the stats, they're pretty much the most balanced, and you've got a lot of skills where I like them, and the ones that I'm going to be looking at the most are going to be vitality, endurance, strength, and dexterity, especially dexterity. And in the beginning, we're also going to have a light focus on faith. We need to get faith up to 14, and after that, our level ups can pretty much be spent however the hell we want. As for our gift, I would highly recommend that you go with the Master Key, because this allows you to open a bunch of doors pretty much throughout the entire game that you would otherwise need to go out of your way to find another key to open it. If you have the Master Key, you can kind of skip over certain segments of the game. I'm not going to lie. That's not really what I'm going to be using it for, but Master Key, definitely go with that. Do not go with the Tiny Beings ring. It says it grants a small increase to HP. The increase is not even noticeable. I'm not even sure that there is an increase. Don't pick that ring. It's a piece of shit. For physique, I usually like to go with slim, or very slim. And the reason for this, I don't know if this is at all accurate, but I just have a sneaky suspicion in the back of my head that maybe if I have a slimmer character, it makes my hitbox smaller. Thus, a gameplay advantage. I have no idea if that's true or not. But hey, there's a cutscene. Enjoy!
Age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame.
So I almost took a big voluptuous bite of Reese's Puffs, this big box of cereal sitting next to me. But then I realized just how much that would ruin this cutscene. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Man, Nito is so cool looking. That was one cool dude. I would have a drink with Gravelord Nito.
Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights, and the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten.
God knows I forgot about it.
With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty lords peeled apart their stone skills. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more.
As he sits atop a pile of his dead brethren. Way to go, Seath.
Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
The dark sign of the Force, Jedi. You know, it's Dark Souls. We're playing Dark Souls, so obviously I have to throw in a Star Wars reference. It only makes sense. Of course. So welcome to the Asylum.
Yes, indeed.
The least depressing place on the planet.
The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
That has got to be the most depressing sentence ever written in a video game.
This is your fate.
Alright, good old-fashioned Dark Souls yet again. I've been playing this game kind of on and off lately, so it shouldn't really take me too long to kind of get back into the swing of things. I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning or not, but I'm going to be trying to play through the game a little bit quicker than I usually do. My initial playthrough of Dark Souls that I did on the channel, which I think I removed because I really hated the way it turned out. I gotta cough real quick, my bad. But my original playthrough on the channel, I did pretty well at the game. I mean, I still managed to beat it, and I had a good time with it and whatnot. But I'm hoping for this playthrough to do a little bit more justice to the game, in that I'm not going to be doing any grinding or farming or anything like that. I'm really just going to be trying to kind of keep my eyes on the prize and just keep on trucking through without doing any of that, no soul farming, no resource or item farming. I'm also going to try to avoid summoning for bosses, which I really don't think I'm going to have a problem with. Also, come over here real quick. Take a look up there at our big friend. Hello. Alright, well, we're going to run past his big ass. Honestly, I could try to fight him with my broken sword. I might be able to beat him. I literally might be able to beat him with this. Oh yeah, look at that. 2 damage. A hefty 2 damage against this guy. I mean, with enough patience and enough skill, I could definitely beat this guy. However, you're definitely not intended to beat this guy the first time you see him. What you're supposed to do is supposed to just go running over here. And then that'll slam shut, and you're safe. Keep on keeping on, baby. And you get another bonfire. How about that? But yeah, when you come through here on New Game Plus, it's actually really, really easy to just sort of beat the shit out of that boss the first time you see him. And if you kill him on the first encounter, you get a unique weapon. I believe it is the Demon Great Hammer. Alright, let's go ahead and equip the heater shield. Yeah, pretty much this game and Sekiro I've been playing quite a bit of. I don't know why I'm beating the shit out of him right now. About to be picking up a weapon. There we go, now we get the longsword. Now we finally get a little bit of a loadout on our hands. And backstab. See ya. I don't even remember what I was just talking about. Oh yeah, I was talking about, yeah, I've been playing a little bit of this, a little bit of Sekiro, and a little bit of Bloodborne. I've been playing quite a bit of Souls games recently. I don't really know why, other than the fact that I really, really enjoy Souls games. So, yeah. And also, don't take that for me being like, oh man, I'm an expert at Souls games. I'm great at these. But here's Oscar.
Oh, you.
I would say that my Dark Souls skills are average at best, but I'm good enough to at least beat the game, so.
I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Haha, thank you.
And this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
He's actually not joking, but more on that later. He will harm us after death if we're not careful. Go down there, and I think there might be a shortcut door that I can open. Holy shit, I didn't. I fell way further than I thought. That would have been the most embarrassing death of all time. I would have pulled out my penis and turned it into a fucking balloon animal if I would have died this early on in the tutorial. Yeah, nice pretty view here. This is like some Game of Thrones looking shit. What? Little thrusty stab, stabby grab. I took an arrow. I done took an arrow, I did. What? Oh, I was trying to do my little jump attack. For some reason, it's like really hard for me to like do that attack. No idea why. Let me see if I can practice my parrying. Oh! First try. Even though I've been I've been playing quite a bit of this game recently, so saying first try is a little bit of a cheap move. All right, you ready for the first boss? Let's fight this boss. This boss is kind of a joke. I mean, it should be. It's the tutorial boss. But yeah, you do that drop attack for like half his health bar. And then I just sort of like to circle around him. Yeah, if you feel comfortable, you can switch to two-hand for a little bit of extra damage. I usually don't like two-handing for reasons like that. I like to keep my shield up because I like to block because I suck at dodging. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull my shield out. You get the idea, you know. You get the idea. Heal again because I've been fucking around. All right, no more fucking around. That was my little brother playing. I gave my little brother the controller. Surprised this thing's not dead yet. And one more little belly hit, and he's dead. Goodbye, Asylum Demon. You got a nice thick ass though, and you got a pretty cool tail. Although I'm pretty sure I could see like your under nutsack from whenever I would attack from behind. So there's that. We get the big pilgrim key. We get some humanity, and we are out this bitch. We are leaving the Undead Asylum, and we are going to Firelink Shrine. It's pretty much the hub area of the game. One thing that I love about Dark Souls 1, as opposed to, I guess the newer Souls game, not necessarily all of them, but I guess like some of the newer Souls games. I don't really know. Like, I guess like I would compare it more to Demon Souls to be more accurate, but I like how Dark Souls 1's world is just like so perfectly connected, you know? Like once you get to Firelink Shrine, pretty much the entire world is connected in this neat little singularity.
It is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
By the birds! The birds chose me.
To leave the Undead Asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
To the land of Thanksgiving, where all the pilgrims ended up.
Lordran.
Oh. Fine, alright. Fuck my ideas then. I still got a cough. Damn. There we go, that's better. See if I can cough away from the microphone. Those of you who are maybe listening through a headset won't go deaf whenever I cough directly into it. Firelink Shrine. Hell yeah, brother. Well, I'm definitely hype to be playing even more Dark Souls. I think that's going to wrap up the end of episode 1. Because, like I said, I'm going to kind of try and stage this into, you know, each area or each, like, significant chunk of the game or each boss or pretty much each, like, little thing I do in the game is going to kind of get its own video, hopefully. So when we come back next time for episode 2, we will explore Firelink Shrine. We'll talk to some of these fine NPCs, of which I think there are 2 that we can talk to right now. But there'll be more on the way. Good old, yeah, that guy, Mr. Fatty McFatterton. But yeah, when we come back next time, we will, we're gonna get crack-lacking on something a little bit unusual. Something that certain players of this game might not do, but it's something that I like to do. So in episode 2, we'll see what that is, and then from there, we'll pretty much just continue the game as normal. Do as best as I can to avoid grinding and farming and just sort of go through the game with the hand that I deal myself as I go. So all of that will be next time, and thank you guys for watching.